Hi, I'm Jordan Conley, President of Obsidian HR, and you're watching my daily series on leading through crisis. Today's topic is about prioritization, which I believe many leaders are struggling with at a time when things are changing as rapidly as they are today. The reality is, prioritization happens whether you do it explicitly or not. There's only so many hours in a day, and choices will be made on where you spend your time. The question is, at the end of the day, was your time spent on the most important items, or did you simply move from task to task based on what demanded your attention at that moment? In my experience, we either make a choice to set our priorities explicitly and deliberately, or we allow the work to prioritize itself, often with results we aren't happy with at the end of the day. Here's a few tips that can help you and your team prioritize well in these tough times. First, as I said a moment ago, make setting priorities an explicit process. This means you set time aside for it, you write down the decisions you make so that everybody can be on the same page. You also have to communicate those decisions clearly and effectively to your team. Second, no one on your team can have more than 3 or 4 priorities. If they do, they don't actually have any. Make the hard choices and force rank the work. Is the work for customer A more important than the work for customer B? Is the project accounting needs more important than the communication we need to do with our customers? Having only 3 or 4 priorities doesn't mean everything else goes away. It's just on a not now list to be revisited the next time you finish something and reset your priorities. Third, these days, I think your cycle time on reprioritization has to be shorter than ever. It feels like every few hours there's a new piece of information that may impact the most important items to you. In normal times, I say reevaluating your priorities once, maybe twice a week is adequate. Today, I think it almost has to be daily. This, however, makes the explicit force ranking I spoke about a moment ago even more important. You can't let changing priorities result in chaos, so you have to be clear about the order and reasoning behind your priorities so your team can effectively move to action. Finally, do what you can to proactively avoid stucks in your team's work. A stuck is the term I use for something that makes work stop. It can be waiting for approval or waiting for another person to get something done. Avoiding stucks speeds up your work. To avoid them, be clear about who owns what priorities and what ownership means. One of the responsibilities of the owner of a priority is to spot and resolve stucks quickly. Also, this is a great place to leverage your daily huddle. One of the most valuable elements of the huddle is to surface your stucks to ensure they're visible and they get resolved quickly. That's all I have for today. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. And if you found this useful, please hit the subscribe button below so you can get these on a daily basis. Have a great Monday and talk to you later in the week.